Hello everyone, good evening and thank you for joining the today's session. I am Kelly Jones, International Sales Executive at Soluzione IT Services. I truly appreciate your time and participation today. So, welcome to another session on enhancing your Dynamics 365 CRM productivity. And today we will walk you through a live demonstration of our activity timeline add-on for Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. In this session, we will be going to show how it helps you track to visualize and manage your customer interactions in one centralized timeline, which improve your customer visibility, productivity, and the decision making. Also, we will be going to briefly cover like the key features and the benefits of the add-on, along with a quick overview, some of our other Dynamics 365 solutions. So before we begin, I just wanted to quickly introduce Soluzione IT Services. We founded in 2011. Soluzione is specialized in Microsoft Dynamics 365, Power Platform, custom software, and mobile application development. So we are serving global clients across industries like education, insurance, finance, and non-profits. Also, we have a dedicated media and video production division. It's a Media Souls. Now it's time to introduce our host, Mr. Saurabh Chatterjee, the Director of Sales at Soluzione, and he has a very extensive experience in helping organizations successfully adopt like a Microsoft services and leads our creative division, Media Zones. So with that, Saurabh, over to you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thanks for the introduction. So without wasting any more time, I think we'll speak about, what is this today's topic of the webinar. That is, we are presenting the activity timeline that has been built by Soluzione, and we have been improving this particular activity timeline add-on. And this kind of is a replacement or a kind of an enhancement feature that has been made available to many Soluzione customers who are facing difficulties in managing their CRM activities using the out-of-box, activity timeline. So, we have experienced that as data grows in a CRM and people are trying to quickly get to the information that they are seeking, the out-of-box timeline or the activity timeline that gets shipped with the Dynamics 365 tends to have certain kinds of limitations, or it tends to, not provide the kind of responsiveness some of the users require. It is also, dependent on developers to customize it, and because of various roles in a company, people tend to want to see different kinds of information in their activity timelines. So what you see on the screen right now is how the default activity timeline appears in Dynamics CRM. I mean that what gets shipped along with Dynamics is a kind of an activity timeline, which is what is visible on the screen today. You can see that it tends to show data or information of communication and activities performed on that entity. Here it is showing the account entity, and within the account entity you see that various kinds of activities is there. There are phone calls, emails, tasks, meetings, etc., which are all chronologically presented. So I am just talking about what the current screen or what the out-of-box activity timeline tends to show. So as you can see, the information is available, but it is being visualized in a very cluttered format. There are customization limitations also with the out-of-box, activity timeline. When we want to actually quickly get into the information, we often do not want all this clutter inside our activity timeline, and that is this challenge that Soluzione has been able to solve with the new activity timeline. I'll just give a comparison. If you can see on the screen, on the left hand side, you have got information being presented in the default activity timeline. And on the right hand side, you can see that a lot of that has been declutterized in the activity timeline built by Soluzione IT Services. There is a clean design, color coding, the icons are custom, they're large, they tend to present the information in a much more precise and clear manner. Also, on the left hand side, you might see that information is presented as dates in typically a DDMMYY kind of format. But on the activity timeline built by Soluzione, you can see that it says today, or it is on a particular 14th January 2026, or it is also showing that same information in an easy to comprehend manner. You can also see that there is a section which shows the month under which all these activities have been performed, and you can also see a status label. So we can actually present a very clean UI as far as the activities are concerned. It helps people to quickly filter and reach to the kind of information that they want to see on their screen. And based on their roles, I think we can actually configure this activity timeline, and I'll dive into that kind of setting later on in the demonstration also. So I'll quickly summarize what we are trying to do. Well, the Soluzione IT Services activity timeline, which is also available on AppSource, has an enhanced search filter. It also provides a color coded by the activity type. It has customizable fields, operates on all entities, and the objective is to improve clarity, usability, and provide the information in a clean, precise manner, cutting out all the clutter and unnecessary information. This is especially useful when very large amount of data or large amount of activities are performed in the entities, typically account entities, opportunities, etc., where there are a lot of communications happening, a lot of emails going, a lot of tasks being done as a part of the activity on that account. To summarize, we want a visually engaging timeline. We are looking at a single contextual view. We want the filters, of course, to work. And of course, the other major advantage is that one can actually customize the views and customize the features quite easily using the app settings itself. More importantly, as you have already touched upon, the date displays have been fixed when it comes to the activity timeline built by Soluzione. I'll quickly jump on to the demonstration. I will just show you, how this activity timeline tends to work. Here I've opened up, my account, a typical CRM instance, which has got an activity timeline, installed on it. And as you can see here, I can collapse the time period, and I can get to see the amount activity that has been done in those months. I can also get a quick view of the amount of activity happening in this account. What kind of communications has been happening in this particular account is visible out here. Emails, tasks, annotations. And as you can see, the icons that are being used are color coded, and actually I can change a lot of icons out here. I quickly can jump into the app itself, and I will show you where the settings exist and how this is done actually. So just hold on a second while I switch on to the other app or the activity timeline app itself. So here is the activity timeline app for unified interface. And as you can see, I am getting an activity setting screen for various kinds of activities that I can actually change the setting for. I'll not change the setting because it's a demo situation, but if I dive into, say for example, appointment, I'll get something like a form which allows me to select the color in which the activities which are here, in this case, appointments demonstrating that I'm demonstrating. The second is that I am getting to see icons which I can use for this particular activity, and there are also settings related to when I click on that particular activity, whether it opens up on the same window or it opens on on the other window itself, on a new window altogether. Now let me come back to my app. As you can see here, the activities are loading up. I'm getting a status label. I'm also getting action buttons to actually complete these activities here. I can mark them as complete. I can do certain other activities. For example, I can, delete this activity from the timeline if it is a frivolous one. I can also get more details of a particular activity, like, and I can actually see a form which shows the description, etc. as well on that. So here I'm marking complete, and actually I can use this interface to work on the CRM itself and all activities in the CRM. So in a way, it is a very useful tool to get things done, especially tasks, mails, communication on the activity timeline, and really makes it a very integrated, interactive experience for the user. Again, I would want to emphasize this is a customizable, and customizable app, so you can actually change the look and feel through the change of the settings that I just demonstrated. Let me get back to my presentation. So, summarizing, this is a fully customizable interface, and we are actually offering the activity timeline to be tried out to people, and actually we are ready to support new configurations to it. I think Kelly will be able to share that information further. I am open to your questions at this point, and if there are anything that you would want to know, please be free to ask questions, or you can raise your hand and we'll get back to you, or and give you more information.
Thank you so much, Saurabh, for such an informative and insightful session today. So everyone, we are now open for questions. Like if you have any queries related to the activity timeline, implementation, or any other Microsoft services, then you can drop them in the chat box, or you may directly ask here. We will be happy to address them.